I don't think you're ever gonna get Ethereal Island Epic Warbox, are you, Kanan? Hell no! First things first, Epic Ethereals are really hard to breed. And secondly, because of their timers, I only get a couple of days to even try and breed them. Even then, by the time I don't get them, they're not even gonna be here anymore.
The only way you're gonna get is with spending money, and you're free to play.
Yeah, by the time I'm 30, I'm gonna have this thing. God damn, bro. You still got a long way to go, mate. You're still only 18, so I suggest you start breeding now. Yup. Anyway, now that Ethereal Island Epic Warbox has been added, it's time for the Ethereal Island Reranking. And something I am gonna do, like I did with my Mech Island and going forward my rankings, is at the end of the video, we're gonna talk about how we feel about the song at the end of the video. So, let's get into it. Number 20, Warbox. Yeah, my opinion has not changed on this guy. He is the worst monster on this island. Oh, come on now, he's not that bad.
Clemens, Warbox is a very controversial monster due to its sound not really making sense on most islands, and I can see why Finland doesn't really like this one. It sounds so jarring and out of place being in the intro.
Okay, maybe he is that bad. See? What did I tell you?
I honestly think it would have been better if Warbox wasn't even in the intro in the first place. Maybe move him to like the beat drop, like the chorus. That probably would have worked better for him. Number 19! The Ninsters!
Dude, they shouldn't even be here, because it doesn't really make any sense. And also, they're just so bad, I don't understand how I haven't included them on my Ethereal Island yet. In my opinion, they're kinda mid. They honestly really don't do much for the song.
Also, like Kalen said, they don't really make sense here. Like, I can't see any lore reason why that allows them to be in the pocket dimension.
I was debating whether or not to put them in last place and put Warbox here, but I decided ultimately against it because although they're pretty bad, they're not as bad as Warbox, plus they get bonus points for being cute. Why do people say they're offbeat? I honestly can't tell they are.
Ever heard of syncopation, Premens? That's when they purposely make the notes offbeat in the song. And yeah, it's not so obvious, but once you listen to them after a while, you can kinda tell they're offbeat. So, them being here is fine, it doesn't really hurt me.
Number 18, Humbug. Quiet, and more quiet. That's all I get from Humbug. Didn't he get a volume boost when Epic Warbox was added?
Yeah, but it didn't really help him much. He's still too quiet.
Also, Humbug is generally underutilized. It only plays once throughout the full song. I pray to God that it gets improved on Poison Islet.
Yeah, I hope so too, because guitars are one of my favorite instruments, and having a monster that plays it, but is really bad, just generally physically hurts me.
Number 17, Kazillion. God, I hope Poison and Shadow Islet fix Kazillion, because I love reptiles. I used to be a dinosaur kid growing up, so that translates to me loving reptiles, and by default, that means I love Kazillion, but God, it's so bad on this island. I can't even defend it. It's not that bad. I honestly think Kazillion's an okay vocal.
If I'm being honest, Kazillion actually has some potential. The only reason why it's bad here is because the song structure makes it bad. Kazillion can be good on Shadow and Poison Islet. It just depends on how the monster handlers handle him in the future.
Please, Shadow Islet, since you're next, please don't let Kazillion be bad. I will kill someone if he is. Why does Kazillion actually sound like it smokes a pack of cigarettes a day?
Really, Clemens? You just now noticed that? We've been known that a long time. Number 16, Monculus.
God damn it, Monculus was done so dirty on this island. I love this monster. It's one of my favorite seasonals. Not to say it's bad or anything, Monculus is a very good monster. It has such a pretty and angelic voice that works on almost any song it's on.
Unfortunately though, Monculus locks outside a seasonal shanty. Like, just doesn't really do much to its songs.
The issue with Monculus on Ethereal Island, which is the same problem as Wobbling Island, is that it only plays once throughout the full song. Can they really not find another place to put Monculus in the full song? Like, I mean, I get it, its voice kinda doesn't work in other parts, but they could have given it a second track to make it work.
This is why I say all the monsters that were introduced on Shanty were wasted on their other islands because they don't sound that great, except for Spirit. That one was not that great on Season of Shanty, but we'll overlook that.
Number 15, Oraculate. I feel the same way how I feel about Oraculate on Mech Island here. It's not bad at all. It's actually pretty good, just like its Mech Island counterpart.
Not to mention pretty catchy too.
But that doesn't mean it still has problems. It has the same issue that it does on Mech Island. Its volume is absolutely atrocious on here. What makes it even worse is that this was the first island it was introduced on. That should set the bar high. Come on, man.
Big Blue Bubble, do we have to go back to audio balancing 101? Because I don't know if I can take these audio balancing issues on the next few islets.
Number 14, Dragon. I am so sorry to all the people that love Dragon on here, but I honestly prefer him on Mech Island. Yeah, Dragon's kinda mid on here.
Not to mention kind of boring as well.
It also doesn't help the fact that Dragon only plays once on the full song in Ethereal Island, whereas Mech Island it plays throughout the entire song, adding nice background support. I probably would have liked Dragon more if it actually played on the ending. I feel like the ending fits him.
His audio on this island is not that great either. Number 13, Bellowfish.
Everything we said about Dragon and Oraculele pretty much applies to Bellowfish. However, unlike Dragon, it's not mid. It's actually pretty good on here.
But everything we said about Oraculele will pretty much apply to Bellowfish.
Bellowfish also has the same problem as Oraculele. It's super duper quiet. God damn it, this is also the first island it was introduced on, just like Oraculele. The first island is supposed to set the bar high for the monsters, not set it low, monster handlers. What the hell?
I hope its next islet is good and fixes its problems because it just hurts my feelings, bro.
Number 12, Gel Billy. A lot of people think Gel Billy's mid on Ethereal Island, but I think he's just fine. In fact, I think he works as a vocalist here. I think he is mid, but once you listen to the full song a couple of times, he's not bad.
I don't like his design though. The mustache is really putting me off.
Beam bop a doom dop ding dot day day beam bop a doom bop a dee dot dow.
I do, however, prefer him on Plasma Islet, though. Yeah, I also think he works better on there than here.
I wonder what he's gonna do on Poison Islet. Is he gonna rap like the Forklifts, Joe Billy? Is he gonna say that's kraut? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Number 11, Nebulob. Nebulob has fallen down a couple of spots, but that doesn't really matter. He's still a pretty good vocalist on this island. And also the only island where he doesn't sound drunk.
Who doesn't love a drunk astronaut?
Comparing it to its other islands, however, Plasma and Mech Islet do beat this one. Mech Islet, however, just barely beats this Nebulob. This is because it's kind of mid on there because it only has one track compared to Plasma Island that has two. It's also not as catchy as it.
Also, its animations are so stiff on here. Plasma Island makes it fly and lean into its astronaut part, and Mech Island is just Mech Island. But that's not really his fault, because let me remind you, this island is 12 years old. So it's not really his fault his animations are so stiff. Number 10, Rare Wobox!
Finally, a Roblox I can actually get behind on this game. Dude, the only reason why he's here in this spot in the first place is because you completely forgot about him.
Shut up, Kremens, let him be. I think he's fine here. Honestly, he's better than most of the monsters on this island.
I don't like the fact that he only plays once, but we can overlook that because this song is short. Because again, you forgot he existed. That's why he's here in the first place.
Kremens, if you don't leave him alone and shut your mouth, my shades will be in your forehead.
Number 9, Epic Wobox. I love this dude's design. The fact that it's a prototype monster and it looks like a rogue. Dude, what more could you ask for? He's also got some pretty good lore too. The fact that he was the first Epic Wobox to be made and be expanded upon. Pretty cool. However, I don't like the fact that he's a Discord mod and they call him edgy. That is just giving brain rot right there.
He also has a great sound to complement his design too. In fact, I think he's the best Wobox on this island sound-wise.
I don't like the fact that he plays in the intro though. He sounds jarring and out of place, and it doesn't really help the intro all that much. In fact, I'm starting to hate the intro of this island now.
I'm also looking at the other Epic Woboxes and I'm comparing him to them. And I'm gonna be honest, he's not the greatest compared to the other Epic Woboxes. Like, he's not on par with Air, but he's definitely not better than some of the other Epic Woboxes either.
Yeah, good you brought it up because I really wanted to talk about that. So, if we remove Air Island Epic Wallbox out of the equation, if you compare Ethereal Island Epic Wallbox to the others, he's a bit underwhelming compared to the others. But that's not really his fault. I kind of knew this was going to be an issue with him in the first place because of how Ethereal Island's song structure is. There's not really that many places they could have put Epic Wallbox without it sounding off and jarring. I do agree with Kremens though that putting him in the intro was a bad move. Like Wobox, it sounds out of place and jarring, but his other placements are fine. But like I said, he's underwhelming. That's just not really his fault. It's just how the song is. But other than that, he's a fun addition. I love him. Number 8, Socks. Wow, Socks still holds up after 12 whole years since his release. I gotta say, I'm not a jazz person, but I really enjoy Socks' inclusion on this island. I think Socks is a little too quiet on this island, but I can overlook that because it's good.
Hands down, one of my favorite ethereals.
The thing is, though, because the Ethereal Islands exist, we already kind of got an idea of Socks' potential, so until Crystal Island comes out, this is by far his worst island. I don't think it's fair to compare him to Plasma Island, though. That island is brand new. This island is still old, but it still holds up. It's not terrible. Just, we've already heard his potential.
Kremens, it is very fair to compare the two. Just because one is older than the other doesn't mean we can still compare them. Voodoo!
I am probably going to get bashed for putting Voodoo here, but after listening to Ethereal Island a couple of times, I've started to realize I like Voodoo's inclusion on this island. But why? Voodoo's almost inaudible in the full song.
Keyword, Kremens. Almost. And yeah, like you, I disagree with this placement, but it's his list, remember? We help him make it. We don't have a choice in what he does.
It also helps that I actually like Budu's design. I think it looks cool. I'm just now realizing that him and Meepkin are literally gonna be the only percussionists on Shadow Island.
All I will say is, Voodoo, you better carry Shadow Island.
Number 6, Grumpire. I crapped on Grumpire in my last ranking, but I realize now he's one of the better vocals on this island. For a monster that only has one track, Grumpire is very catchy. He honestly sounds like how I am in the mornings.
Thank God it's better than Cold Island. That Grumpire sucked.
Boom shakala, boom shakala la da da, boom shakala, boom shakala da, boom shakala, boom shakala la da da, boom shakala, boom shakala da.
I am really excited to see what Grumpire will do on Shadow Islet. I'm calling it right now, he's gonna be the worst monster on the islet.
I'm not gonna say anything more about Shadow Island because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want Grumpire to be terrible on there because I love Grumpire.
Number 5, Wisp. I'm sorry, but I prefer Wisp on Ethereal Island over Plasma Islet. But it's Plasma Islet! It's the newer one!
I actually like both of them, so I don't really know how to feel about this.
Away, 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 oh, away, oh, oh.
Here's the thing, I love Wisp on both of its islands, I really do. It's just that I honestly like Ethereal Island Wisp better than Plasma Islet because I think it's more catchier. Oh, fair enough. But I still think Plasma Islet's the better island for Wisp until Shadow Islet comes around.
Is it just me, or do I get dreamy vibes from Wisp? Number 4, Fungray.
Fungray has such a pretty sound. Honestly, I can listen to this monster all day. In my humblest opinion, Fungray is the best monster in the chorus.
All of the Joint Sect family is amazing. Well, except for Humbug.
This island sets the bar so high, I honestly can't wait to see it on Crystal and Poison Islet. I would be very mad if they mess it up, because this monster right here is peak!
I honestly wouldn't mind if it did go crazy on its islets. To me, Fungray is slightly overrated.
Number 3, Geode. Geode was already good on Water Island, but here it's even better. It's a shame it's only got one track though. I would love to see it do more on this island.
Yeah, I wish it had more tracks too, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, right, Kremens?
I honestly could fall asleep just listening to this monster by itself. Hopefully Crystal Islet gives it more than one track, because I can't take Geode with just one track.
Again, Kremens, beggars can't be choosers!
Number 2, Rebro. This island severely lacks percussion, and Rebro fixes that issue. Rebro also plays throughout the entire song to compensate for the lack of percussionist on this island.
It's one of the only 2 monsters that has more than one track, and it has 3!
I prefer Rebro and Mech Island due to how creative its sound is, but this one I still love. At least it's not as mid as Air.
Hey, don't diss Air Island, Rebro. I actually really like that one. Go on! Gas!
Will there ever be a monster on this island that will beat Gas? Probably not gonna happen anytime soon.
Gas is pretty much essential to the full song. Without it, it would sound empty.
Also, like Rebo, Gas is the only other monster that has more than one track on this island, and thank God it does. That second track makes me want to ascend! To be fair, Gas has no bad islands, honestly. You can't go wrong with this monster.
Gas Odyssey, though, is so important to its island songs that you can't listen to any of them without it.
And that is the end of the ranking. However, we're not done yet. Now we will talk about our thoughts on this song. Ethereal Island hands down has one of the best song structures in the entire game. You cannot tell me otherwise. This song is so amazing that it's still one of my favorites to this day.
The monsters Odyssey don't sound that great by themselves, but when you put them together, you get this masterpiece. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Well, everybody except for Wubbox, Humbug, Kazillion, and the Dipsters, but we can overlook them.
I do think the monsters could have been handled a little better, such as giving them more tracks and like moving them around and whatnot. But other than that, Ethereal Island is perfect. But let us know what you guys think about Ethereal Island in the comments. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. We really appreciate all the support we've been getting on this channel.
Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe!
And let us know in the comments what island you guys want us to rank next. Because we have so many island ranking ideas, but we want to know what you guys want to see first. Bye everyone!